Hello gamers, it appears that the last time that the BFG 50 and HECATE 2 were actually compared was about 3 years ago. Now a lot has changed since then, a lot of changes, a lot of new ammo types, a lot of buffs. So today we'll do a updated guide on the HECATE 2 versus the BFG 50. Let's start it off with the BFG statistics. The BFG and HECATE are pretty similar. The BFG does 100 to 95, it can torso kill all ranges, it can limb kill to 50 studs, and it can headshot kill all ranges. It has 3000 studs per second muzzle velocity without the long barrel and 10 studs of pen. With the long barrel it gets 3150. The HECATE 2 has a better torso multi, the same headshot multi, doesn't really matter, worse damage ranges, and it does a little bit less damage. It cannot limb kill, but it still has 3000 studs per second muzzle velocity, 10 studs of pen. With the long barrel, they also have exactly the same muzzle velocity, which is kind of interesting. I mean, it kind of makes sense. The same thing happens on the TRG with the long barrel. It goes from 3000 to 3150. Now let's talk about how they actually fire. The BFG 50 is a one-shot gun. Boom, you gotta reload it every single time you shoot. It only holds one bullet. There's no way to change that at all. It just shoots and reloads. The reload isn't actually too bad. It has a much better reload than HECATE does, but obviously the HECATE has way more bullets in a mag, so you're gonna reload way less. But yeah, pretty interesting gun. We'll get into setups in just a second, but first let's talk about the HECATE. The HECATE, on the other hand, as you can see, has a little bit of a longer reload. It's not too much longer. It's about double at most, but obviously since it has a up to 8 round capacity, you're gonna reload about 8 times less. And as you can see, you shoot way faster. Yes, you shoot kind of slow, but I think it's about 16 fire rate versus 28. Obviously, those are not really their actual fire rates. I think it's about the maximum you can get by just spamming and firing every single time. But if you're going to go into ADS, you have to leave ADS, and that's going to make it shoot a little bit slower. We'll talk about straight pull in a second. They kind of perform effectively the same, except that the BFG can limb kill, which means it can kill to the arm or leg, versus the HECATE, which cannot do that, but they both can kill with one hit to the torso at all ranges and one hit to the head at all ranges. They also have the same amount of pen. They both have the same basically ammo types, but I'll get into the ammo types in just a second. The best BFG loadout is optic of preference. I prefer the regular one, but I guess you can use like 40x, long barrel, skeleton grip, or a laser, remove stock, or I guess ballistics tracker. And for ammo, there's a lot of different ones, but I guess 416 Barrett is probably the best. You lose some pen, but you gain a lot of muzzle velocity, and you don't actually lose damage. You lose a little bit of damage ranges, but it's really not too big of a deal. 416 Barrett is pretty good. I don't really like it that much because you lose a little bit of limb kill range and a lot of your pen. It's about 40% of your pen. You still have 6 studs, but you don't have 10 anymore. Plus all you gain is a little bit of muzzle velocity, and these are basically hit scan anyways. They don't really need that. But as you can see with this loadout, it has a pretty quick aim down sights time. It's not insanely fast, but it's pretty quick, and also it goes very long mode. So for the HECATE, obviously optic of preference. I really do like the Sidewinder ED. I use it on the TRG 42, of course, because it comes with it. And yeah, I guess I could talk about the CQC barrel, but it sucks. It's a bad one. Don't use it really. Like, it's not terrible per se, but it's really not that good. Makes your muzzle velocity just garbage. Long barrel is kind of better because it just gives you more muzzle velocity, and I guess ranges, but muzzle velocity I think is the main part. For this one, of course, skeleton grip still, or laser, remove stock or straight pull, but I prefer remove stock because of how slow this thing shoots. First off, straight pull makes it just shoot so slow, like even slower than it already does, which is 25 RPM instead of 28. Remove stock gives you more aim down sight speed, and really with how slow it is, like, you're not really gonna stay scoped in and still bolt, so I don't really prefer it, but I do on a lot of other snipers. None in here, of course, 416 Barrett, and if not, just any of the other ones kind of suck. Tracerless is alright. Slap ammo, we can talk about that in a second, and dust shot, we can talk about that one in a second as well. But with this one, aim down sight speed, very fast. As you can see, if you're gonna go like this, you are not gonna stay in aim down sight. What are you doing? Why would you use straight pull on this? Because you're like, that is gonna take longer than just going like this. It's not really worth your time to use it, in my opinion. You don't lose a lot. You only lose about 2.8 RPM, but of course you're going to aim down sights a little bit slower as well. And the BFG does not have the straight pull bolt. It only has 1 bullet, so if it did, it would kind of be worthless anyways. Unless they somehow made a gun that you can stay aimed down sights and reload, which they don't. Not even the GB can do that. And I think if any gun should be able to do that, it should be the GB, but like, I think all of them should be able to do it. The guns can do that in core. All the guns in core can do that, which is only like 2 so far. They both have dust shot and M903 slap. Slap ammo is not really that good. Basically, it removes your torso kill, which is just terrible, but I think it actually increases your muzzle velocity. Yes, it does. And it gives you 20 studs of pen, which allows you to basically shoot through like, well, 20 studs of walls, which is just insane. That's a ton of walls, and you can really wallbang people with it, but you have to hit a headshot to kill somebody, so it's not really that effective. Dust shot is more of a meme ammo type. It does 35 to 19 about on both of them. I think it's 34 to 18 on the other one. Basically, you have 16 pellets. It's kind of just like high damage birdshot with decent spread, but it's really not that good considering like the KS23M exists. And of course, the BFG has its own .17 Wildcat, which basically makes it a freaking railgun. Like, it has so much muzzle velocity. I'll show you. It's gonna be really hard to actually show you now that I think about it. I'll just go get a test dummy right now, hopefully if I can find one. I finally got this all set up. Now, as you can see, there's no drop. There's literally no drop at all. If I took another gun, there would be drop from here. But here, no. It's literally right on his head. So that's the upside of this, but as you can see, if I shoot somebody in the limbs, it does not kill them. So you need to hit somebody in the head, like here. Boom. I'll play a slow-mo clip. The person literally dies in no time at all. I guess I can mention dust shot. It's kind of interesting. It does that. Basically functions exactly the same on the HECATE, but the HECATE obviously has a lot more bullets. Theoretically does like more damage than any other shotgun in the game, I believe. Even more than the KS23M with birdshot, but I guess less than the Stevens with birdshot. But you know, the Stevens with birdshot, that's kind of cheating. It does do a lot of damage, you know? Oh my gosh. Now that I've actually compared everything about these two guns, you probably want to know which one is the best. And actually this question is very, very answerable. They have the exact same pen. The BFG has way more suppression, but it doesn't really matter. And except for the limb kill, they have exactly the same hits to kill, and they have the same muzzle velocity. The only real difference is the HECATE has 8 bullets, and the BFG has 1. It has to reload every single shot. It might walk a little bit faster, ADS a little bit faster, I guess, and have a limb kill, but it's pretty much null and void when this gun has literally 8 times the bullets. And you might be like, well, the BFG does have a pretty fast reload time, but yeah, it does, and the HECATE just does it faster though. Like, that's faster than a BFG reload. But I think overall, we can definitely say that the HECATE is better than the BFG. But there's the third 50 cal that you get, which is better than all of them. That's the M107. However, I didn't want to include that in this video. The only real difference is that if you hit somebody in the limbs with a 50 cal other than the BFG, it will not kill them. See, that didn't kill him. That put him to 3 health. That's about it. That's the only real difference there, is that it has a limb kill, and I guess slightly better damage ranges, but it doesn't really matter. And the M107 and the HECATE, I guess the HECATE is a little bit easier to use, but that's only because the M107 has a ton of recoil. Other than that, it shoots faster, it has more bullets if you use the extended mag. But yeah, let me know your thoughts in the comments, because I'm kind of pretty sure that everyone's going to say it's the HECATE, but maybe somebody wants to say that it's the BFG. Maybe they think that, oh, because it has Wildcat, even though Wildcat kind of sucks. It's basically a worse scout. But yeah, let me know what you thought in the comments. Oh my gosh. You know how it be. Oh my gosh. Anyways, I will see you guys in the next one. Peace.